all aware of it? Do you know the theme for this year's World TB Day?
It's right behind Invest to End TB and Save Lives.
Well, what is TB? Anyone?
TB or tuberculosis is a bacteria infection which spreads through inhaling tiny droplets from coughing and sneezing of an infected person. To fill you in more about this TB, I called upon Subhadeep Roy.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Myself, Shubhadeep Roy, a student of Sarvodaya School of Nursing, is welcoming our administrator, Ms. Agnes Olivia, our teachers, non-teaching staff, and lastly, my dear friends. Today, I am going to deliver a speech today about tuberculosis. It is an infectious disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It typically attacks the lungs, but also can affect other parts of the body. The disease has become rare in economically developed countries, but sadly, it is still a major problem in developing countries like India. There are an estimation of 8 to 9 million new cases emerged each year between the time period of 2000 to 2020. In adults, tuberculosis is the second leading cause of death after the infectious disease known as AIDS, with 95% of death occurring in low economically developed countries. It is still a major problem for poor children in underdeveloped countries, where it kills over 1 lakh children on an average. Drug susceptible tuberculosis requires at least 6 months of therapy under close supervision. In most places, the diagnosis still relies mainly on direct microscopy that is unable to detect a large proportion of patients. With brief, I can say the treatment of tuberculosis remains a constraint for patients and a heavy burden for the healthcare system. After 40 years of minimal progress, we can fight tuberculosis by upgrading DOTS medication and new tools to bring some hope in ourselves. Thank you.
Well. Thank you, Shubhadeep, for your speech. It was quite informative for all of us. Well, now we know what TB is. Do we know the cause of TB? Okay, never mind.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Shourabh Rai, the student of the Sarvodaya School of Nursing. Today I am going to give a small chart presentation on the probable causes of tuberculosis. As you can see in the first picture of the chart, the tuberculosis is small rod-shaped bacterium that is extremely hard, and it can survive for months in the state of dryness and also can resist the action of mild of disinfection. We can also see in the second and the third picture, infection spread primarily by the respiratory route directly from an infected person who discharges their live bacilli into the air. Tuberculosis is caused by the bacteria that spread from person to person through microscopic droplets released into the air. When someone with untreated active from tuberculosis, if we cough, sneeze, speak or laughing, although the tuberculosis is contagious, it is not easy to catch. If you are much more like to get tuberculosis from someone you live, work with them from a stranger. Most people with active TB who have the appropriate drug for at least 1 or 2 weeks are no longer contagious. You can see in the fourth picture, the smoking also causes of tuberculosis. Smoking can damage the lungs and our immune system, making smoker more susceptible for TB infection. The occurrence of TB has been shown to be linked to attenuated immune response and multiple defects in immune cell. I also want to add, through there is clear link between active TB and undernutrition. In no way does malnutrition or undernutrition causes of TB in its. TB is only ever caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Food insecurity and malnutrition in people who are in close contact a patient with active TB increase their risks and developing TB. Thank you.
Thank you, Saurabh Rai. It was quite informative. Now, so far we know about TB and how it is caused.
But do we know how it is diagnosed and the effects of it?
No. So, we call upon Shreya Dev to inform us about it.
Good afternoon everyone. Myself Shreya Dev, student of Sarvodaya School of Nursing. Today I am going to give a small chart presentation on the probable symptoms and effect to the tuberculosis. Well, as you all know, tuberculosis is a potentially serious infectious disease that mainly affects the lungs. The bacteria that cause tuberculosis are spread from person to person through tiny droplets released into the air via cough and sneezes. Although your body can't harbor the bacteria that causes tuberculosis, your immune system usually can't prevent you from becoming sick. As you see, the second and third picture on the chart, the signs and symptoms of active tuberculosis include fever, chills, weight loss, pain of breathing and coughing, fatigue, then coughing up blood and mucus, then no appetite, then causing for 3 or more weeks, etc. The effect of tuberculosis is similar to that of the signs and symptoms of tuberculosis. To conclude, the tuberculosis infection and disease remain common of population characterized by poor housing condition, drug use and HIV infection. Linking a major medical provider with community-based organization is an effective means to provide highly targeted screening services to a population at serious risk for disease acquisition and transmission. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreya. I'm sure we all heard the saying, prevention is better than cure. So now to know the prevention and treatment of TB, I call upon Anubhav to present it before you all.
Good afternoon everyone, myself Anubhav Bhattacharya, a student of Sarvodaya School of Nursing, and now I am going to present the chart about the prevention and treatment of tuberculosis. As you have seen in the previous charts, there are various causes of tuberculosis. What are the effects and symptoms when someone got affected with the Mycobacterium tuberculosis? Now, as you can see in the chart, there are some preventive measures as well as effective treatments for tuberculosis. The preventive measures includes quitting smoking. Smoking not only causes cancer but also damages the lungs. Other than that, maintaining good ventilation, natural light to kill the TB bacteria, having a nutritional rich balanced diet and maintaining good personal hygiene will also be very helpful to prevent the spread of this disease. From the treatment perspective, there are nowadays various treatments available which are very effective in terms of curing the tuberculosis. Dot therapy is the most effective one. The medications include isoniazid INH combination with 3 other drugs, rifampicin, pyrazinamide and ethambutol. The treatment period is 8 to 9 months approximately. Within this time span, if the patient follows a doctor's advice and with proper medication, the disease can be cured completely. Thank you.
This information with us.
Now, I call upon Shishobhan to conclude the chart presentation. So I welcome.
Good afternoon all. I am Sushwan Modi on behalf of all the students concluding the chart presentation. Tuberculosis prevention and efforts rely primarily on the vaccination of infants and the detection and appropriate treatment of active cases. The World Health Organization has achieved some success with improved treatment regimens and implementing DOTS therapy. Our government has launched National Tuberculosis Program in 1962 in India with the main goals to decrease the morbidity and mortality due to TB and cut transmission of infection. Under this program, diagnostic and treatment facilities are provided free of cost to all TB patients. We all professional nurses need to explain the services and facilities in reach of the awareness program and engage with community people to control TB. In order to fight the disease, the appropriate measures which have mentioned in the chart presentation will be very much effective, and we all should keep in practice in our daily life. Thank you.
Now I cordially welcome our dear Rupa ma'am to come forward and share a few words on tuberculosis day.
If you can't do big things, great things, do small things in great way, right? A very good afternoon to respected administrative officer Mrs. Dory ma'am, dear colleagues, dear students and non-teaching staffs. As you know, we all have gathered here to create awareness of World Tuberculosis Day. So I am extremely honored and privileged for getting an opportunity to deliver a speech, and each year we commemorate World Tuberculosis Day on 24 March to increase awareness of about tuberculosis. So though considered one of the oldest disease known to humankind, still it remains one of the leading infectious killer disease. So it is being 9th leading cause of death worldwide. So do you know who invented tuberculosis bacteria? It is caused by, any idea? Who invented? And tuberculosis is caused by which bacteria? Very good, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Who invented? Dr. Robert Koch in the year 1882. So he started diagnosing and treating the tuberculosis patients, right? Then onwards it practiced World Tuberculosis Day. Clear? So statistics shows that about 4,100 people lost their lives every day worldwide, and 28,000 people fall in with this preventable and curable disease. So COVID-19 pandemic has reversed years of progress made to fight in tuberculosis. So for the first time in over a decade, tuberculosis deaths increased in the year 2020. So then what is tuberculosis? What is tuberculosis? Any idea? What is tuberculosis? What infection? Bacterial infection, right? So tuberculosis is an infectious bacterial disease which is caused by Mycobacterium bacteria, so which mainly affects the lungs of a person, right? And tuberculosis is contagious as it gets transmitted from infected person to a healthy person through droplets from the throat and lungs. Then what are the main symptoms of this tuberculosis? Coughing. Right. What are the symptoms? Coughing with the mucus or blood. Then fever, chills, night sweats, weight loss, loss of appetite and fatigue. Right. So how to diagnose this one? How to diagnose tuberculosis? As you said, as your friend said, so some kind of test. Which are all? Tuberculin, skin test, TB, blood test, and chest X-ray and sputum culture. Then who should be tested? Who should be tested? Persons who has spent time with a tuberculosis infected one, and a person who have been recently infected with the tuberculosis, and person who have persistent cough more than 2 to 3 weeks, right? And also person who infected with HIV, right? And what's the treatment for tuberculosis? What treatment? anti-tuberculosis drug, right? So tuberculosis disease, it is potentially treatable, curable and preventable. So timely diagnosis and adequate treatment can save many more lives, right? And as you said, anti-tuberculosis medication should be given under the RNTCP guidance. Do you know what is RNTCP? Revised National Tuberculosis Control. Then preventive measures. How to prevent the tuberculosis? Any idea? Our students, any idea? How to prevent the preventive measures? Quit smoking. Increase immunity power. Decrease immunity power. Increase immunity power. So some preventive measures such as BCG vaccination. When we will take BCG? At birth. Okay. BCG vaccination and early diagnosis and treatment. Managing enrollment. Why? Because tuberculosis is a airborne disease. So hence it is very important to keep our surroundings clean, and also managing good ventilation, because sunlight will kill many bacteria, right? That's why. And also maintaining good personal hygiene, such as covering the mouth while coughing and sneezing. That also will reduce the spread of tuberculosis bacteria. And in various countries, the government providing free screening and free dose of medication to all people suffering from the tuberculosis, and also free tuberculosis treatment in all government hospitals, and also recognized centers in India also, right? And every year the day is followed by a specific theme. What is the theme? 2022? Invest to end tuberculosis and save lives. So the theme focuses on the urgent need to invest resources, speed up the fight against tuberculosis. We have to provide resources. I mean early diagnosis, proper treatment, isolation, their care, right? Medication such as. So at last, let us all be part of it. Let us all join our hands together for the benefit of mankind and end tuberculosis. Thank you. So to understand the concept of TB even better, we now have students of Sarvodaya and New Sarvodaya presenting a skit before you.
चल भाई चल सिगरेट चल भाई स्वास्थ्य से मूड नहीं जम रहा चल भाई 2 सिगरेट सिगरेट ये लो भाई 30 रुपया 30 भाई चलो भाई ये थोड़ा डालो चीनी लीजिए You are disgusting. You are destroying your life. आजकल की दुनिया में क्या हो गया, कोई किसी का बात ही नहीं सुनता।
पापा मेरे लिए क्या लाए हो?
मैं तो कुछ लाना भूल गया, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं था बेटा। बेटा मेरे थोड़ा पानी लेकर आना। उनको पापा मम्मी को बुलाता हूँ आप लोग।
आपको देखकर कुछ अच्छा नहीं लगता है, रुको मैं डॉक्टर को कॉल करती हूँ।
हाँ।
Hello, is this Lotus Hospital? Yeah, I want to make an appointment. Can you please tell me the timings? Okay.
Excuse me मैम।
हाँ बताइए
मेरा तबीयत थोड़ा ठीक नहीं लग रहा है मैम।
क्या हुआ है?
इनको कफिंग हो रही है, चेस्ट पेन हो रहा है और आपको फीवर भी था बहुत।
कितने दिनों से?
ये लास्ट कुछ 15 दिन से।
देख लीजिए। तो टेस्ट कर लीजिए एक इन्फेक्शन और एक अगर कर सकते हैं। मैंने मार्क कर दिया, अगर कोई रैशेस और इन्फेक्शन यहाँ पर हुआ तो कॉन्टैक्ट कीजिए। ओके। एंड 2 दिन के बाद आकर रिजल्ट लेके जाना। थैंक यू डॉक्टर।
चलो चलो घर चलते हैं। इन सब की बातों में यार आने का जरूरत नहीं, ये सब बिजनेस के लिए सब करता है।
ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हो? वो आपके भले के लिए ही तो कह रहे हैं।
ये उसका बिजनेस है, ये बिजनेस के लिए कुछ भी कर सकता है।
नहीं, आपको तभी भी फॉलो करना है।
पापा डॉक्टर ने क्या बताया आपको?
बेटा कुछ नहीं बताया, वो उसका बिजनेस है, वो बिजनेस के लिए कुछ भी बोलता है बेटा।
नहीं पापा, आपको अपना ट्रीटमेंट कराना चाहिए।
हाँ बेटा, वही तो बात मैं इनको कह रही हूँ। आप ही समझाओ इनको। कौन समझाए?
यार बेटा वो उसका बिजनेस के लिए बेटा कर रहा है बेटा।
करना चाहिए।
मेरा तबीयत में ठीक नहीं लग रहा।
क्या हो गया बेटा?
अरे देखो ना, पापा का कॉफी मिला था ना, उसकी वजह से मुझे भी हो गया बीमारी।
मुझे अभी हेल्पलाइन नंबर
ट्रीटमेंट करवाइए, आपकी वजह से मैं भी
हाँ बेटा गलती हो गया, उस दिन करा लेना चाहिए था बेटा।
रुको, मैं अभी हेल्पलाइन नंबर पे कॉल करती हूँ। हेलो, या देयर इज एन इमरजेंसी, कैन यू प्लीज कम फास्ट?
घर पे कोई है?
यस यस।
घर के कितने मेंबर्स हैं?
या 3 members are there.
3 मेंबर्स ना। कौन सा?
My husband and
आपका घर में पेशेंट कौन है?
my husband and my son.
दोनों ही पेशेंट?
Yes.
क्या हुआ इसको दोनों को?
एक्चुअली मेरे हस्बैंड को पहले बहुत ही ब्रीथिंग प्रॉब्लम थी, चेस्ट पेन था, पर इन्होंने ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं दिया, जिसकी वजह से अब मेरे बेटे को भी हो गया।
पहले हेल्थ चेकअप नहीं करवाया?
चेकअप करवाया था
कहाँ से?
लोटस हॉस्पिटल, डॉक्टर शालिनी।
तो रिपोर्ट कुछ वगैरह कुछ नहीं दिया?
रिपोर्ट हमने कलेक्ट नहीं किया।
रिपोर्ट कलेक्ट नहीं किया?
क्यों कलेक्ट नहीं किया?
एक्चुअली इन्होंने ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं दिया।
आप कितने रिस्पॉन्सिबल हो सकते हो?
आपके लिए आपका बेटा बता रहा है।
सॉरी सर, गलती हो गया सर।
क्या
क्या
सॉरी?
गलती यार? ठीक है कोई नहीं, कल हम लोग जाएंगे लोटस हॉस्पिटल, डॉक्टर शालिनी से रिपोर्ट लाएंगे। तब तक के लिए उनको थोड़ा अलग रखिए। आप भी उन लोग, आप और अपना बेटा को उनसे थोड़ा दूर रखिए।
और आप ऑल टाइम मास्क पहन के रखिए, ठीक है? आपका एक छोटा बेटा है, आपको समझ नहीं आता क्या?
सॉरी मैम, गलती हो गई, इस बार के लिए माफ कर दीजिए। मेरा तबीयत ठीक नहीं लग रहा।
अभी रिपोर्ट आएगी तो पता चल जाएगा।
हाँ हाँ, डॉक्टर तो आ रहे हैं।
घर पे कोई है?
यस। हाँ
आपको हम लोग को पहचान पा रही है हम लोग कौन है? कल आए थे हम लोग।
हाँ जी।
तो मैटर थोड़ा सीरियस है कि आपका पति को लगता है टीबी हो गया।
देखा, मैंने कहा था ना, तुम्हारी वजह से अब मेरे बेटे को भी टीबी हो गया है। तुमने पहले ध्यान नहीं दिया, सब तुम्हारी लापरवाही की वजह से हुआ है।
ठीक है। आपके पास आप क्या स्मोकिंग करते थे?
नहीं, मैं तो नहीं करता, मेरा दोस्त लोग स्मोकिंग करता है।
लगता है वही वजह से आपको टीबी हो गया है। रिपोर्ट बोल रहा है।
अब हमें क्या करना चाहिए डॉक्टर?
ठीक है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मैं एक चार्ट प्रिस्क्राइब करके दूंगी, वो आपको मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है?
पहली बात तो आपको ठीक ठाक एक्सरसाइज करना पड़ेगा जो हम लोग प्रेस्क्राइब करेंगे आपको। फिर सेकेंडली आपको बहुत सारा खाना वगैरह खाना पड़ेगा, जिसमें प्रोटीन है, कार्बोहाइड्रेट है, मिनरल्स है, विटामिन्स है, वो आपको बॉडी के लिए अभी बहुत नेसेसरी है। और थर्डली आप उन दोस्तों से अलग रहिए जो स्मोक करता है, क्योंकि वो एक वे है टीबी ट्रांसफ़र होने के लिए।
और वीकली एक बार जाके ये PHC के चेकअप करके आना है आपको। सेकेंडली आपको डॉट थेरेपी करना है। और थर्डली आपको जब आप कपिंग कर रहे हैं तो आपको हैंडकरचीफ ऑलवेज आपका साथ रखना है, ठीक है?
हाँ मैम।
ठीक है।
मैम इस बार के लिए माफ कीजिए, मैं दोस्तों को बता दूंगा ये सब।
ये सही नहीं है, ये आपको रिपीट नहीं करना चाहिए। आपको हमेशा मेडिसिन कंटिन्यूसली लेना चाहिए, रिपोर्ट दिखाना दिखाना चाहिए, आपका जो टेस्ट है वो भी करवाना चाहिए।
क्योंकि आपकी वजह से आपको लड़की को भी यही हुआ ना।
ये मैम सॉरी मैम, मेरे गलती हो गया, इस बार से
आज आपका लड़का को हुआ, दूसरा तुम्हारा बीवी को होगा, फिर दूसरा तुम्हारे दोस्तों को होगा, क्या होगा फिर? ठीक है, कोई नहीं, चिंता मत करो, तुम ठीक हो जाओ। नेक्स्ट टाइम से ये रिपीट मत करो।
हाँ, और आपका परिवार का भी ध्यान रखो, ठीक है?
नेक्स्ट टाइम से हम लोग आएंगे, हम लोग आते रहेंगे। आप कोई चिंता करने का वजह नहीं है, हम लोग आएंगे, फिर रिकॉर्ड भी लेंगे, और कोई चिंता मत करो, अपना बच्चे को थोड़ा समझाओ, और कुछ नहीं, और आते रहेंगे हम लोग। ठीक है, चल आ रहे हैं।
थैंक यू डैड।
Thank you, ma'am.
কি গরম লাগছে রে।
Well, as the program is now coming to an end, let us end this program with a vote of thanks given by Sri Deepa.
Good afternoon all. Myself, Sri Deepa Shankar. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for today's Tuberculosis Day. I would like to thank our administrator, Mrs. Agnes Olivier, for her presence. To all the teachers for their guidance and non-teaching staff for their support. And last but not the least, my dear friends for their cooperation. Once again, I thank you, one and all present here. Thank you.
Deepa, I hope through this program we have all gained awareness about TB and the causes and effects. And let's not just preach it, but also practice it. And I'm really thankful for you guys for contributing your time and being present over. Thank you.